One of the simplest questions is, how are you going to set up the company? This is worth having a conversation with a lawyer, but LLC versus S Corp. How are you going to have the operating agreement? Make sure you get a lawyer involved. This is something you don't want to skimp on. Make sure you have, once you get that, then you can go to the bank and say, here's my taxpayer ID. That's one. Number two, who's going to be the manager? At first, you probably don't need it necessarily, but you still want to have that in the back of your head. Number three, are you going to do payroll or are you going to do independent contractors? It's a big deciding factor. We actually have a combination here. So it's sort of simple, but it can get complicated. Fourth, how are you going to get people in the building as far as marketing? Are you going to pick a place that's very, very visible, but you have a higher rent? Or are you going to pick a place that's not so visible, but you have a lesser rent, but you have to spend more on marketing, at least up front, to get people in the door? Number five, how are you going to get referrals in general? Are you going to make relationships with other doctors? Are you going to make relationships with other vendors, other businesses, small businesses, Chamber of Commerce? These are all the questions you're going to have to start to ask. Audio and video. Do you need video? Do you need audio? Can you have Sonos? Can you have portable speakers? What type of audio demands are there? Are you also going to be loud? If you are going to be loud, then you have other audio concerns that you might have to keep into consideration. Occupancy. There's sometimes limits. As far as New York, the FDNY is very heavily involved in some of this stuff. And in the suburbs, you're going to have parking issues, most likely. So you need X amount of spots for the number of people that you could potentially have. So it gets complicated, like I said, sort of quick. If you're going to do a juice bar in the gym setting, are you going to have dry goods only? Are you going to have wet goods? Are you going to have somebody staff it? Is the trainers going to make it? How is that going to work? How are you going to charge it? You're going to put it on their account. When do they get billed? These are some of the questions. Again, it's not super complicated, but it's not necessarily just open a gym and then hope for the best. What about equipment? Where are you going to get the equipment? Are you going to buy used? Are you going to get new equipment? Are you going to get it all from one vendor? Are you going to get it from two? Are you going to get multiple sources? Are you going to try to get them to help you design it? My friends at Perform Better have helped outline gyms before for me and for clients. They've done outlines and then we've gotten ideas from them and they do that for free. So there's something there. What about sales tax? Make sure you're filing for sales tax. Most trainers don't actually file for sales tax. If any of them get caught, they're going to owe thousands of dollars. We pay a quarterly sales tax for any in-person training sessions. What about any subleasing? If there's a chiropractor or a physical therapist, are you going to be subleasing from them or for them, depending on your lease? And if you are leasing, do you have that ability to do the sublease? All these things. When are you going to start hiring? And then when you do start hiring, are you going to have a process and or somebody else do it, or are you going to do it? So if you're the technician, somebody who's working on the car in the garage, are you going to be teaching the other mechanics how to work on the cars? Or is that going to take you off the line and then now you're losing revenue because you're not doing your main job? So all of these things, again, these are part of the ingredients on starting your own business. I think that was 9. And then the last one I think is sort of simple, is like just putting together some sort of outline as far as the revenue model. So the revenue model is going to be important when you're trying to forecast and explain pricing. And if whether you're selling flowers or whether you're a car mechanic, whatever it is, you really want to have a handle on pricing and a revenue model so that you can be profitable, number one, but also two, explain it clearly, succinctly. We do a flat rate pricing here, so there's no discounts, no packages. The trainers don't need to be discounted for their pay, and then the gym doesn't need to be discounted. So that's just simple. It's just one flat rate, and it's easy to explain. In the past, we had 15 options, and it was nuts. So just simple. But that's it. Hope this is helpful. If you're trying to open your own business, grow your own gym, build a studio,